Hello and welcome. This is Marisol, and today I'll be sharing my completed December daily album with you guys. I did show the my foundation pages back in early December, so if you're interested in seeing those, the link will be in my in the description box below. For this album, I mainly used the Allie Edwards December Daily kit and one mini kit from last year. Otherwise, I used things from my stash and I did create some items on my own, and I'll point those out as I share with you guys. So for the intro page, I have a transparency with cork numbers. This says, "Oh Holy Night, the stars are brightly shining." And to start off the album, I added a picture of our little elf, Elfie Bob. And this was a very quick and easy, simple page to make. I just used a wood veneer and a number and some alphas. And this is a 5x7 photo. I do print from home. I use the Epson PictureMate 400, and this was printed on 5x7 paper. For day 2, I documented the story of these Christmas lights. Here, let me do this. Here we go. And this is not my home. This is a home nearby. And every year we go and we look at these lights, and it's so much fun. And sadly, it is the last year that the homeowners are making their display. So we took our time, got out of the car, and what I did was I added this flip out so that I could add lots of pictures. See, this is something that I made on my own. Very easy to make, but I love how it's outside of the page protector and gives me lots of space for journaling and for pictures. Day 3 is very simple. This is one of those cards that came in the kit from last year. I think it was from Emily Lay. I'm not 100% sure. But I like that it said, "Let's decorate the tree." And I used a few of these throughout the album. I made this picture black and white because there were so many different colors, but also because it added kind of like a nostalgic feel for me. You know, my mom, she lives in an assisted living, and when we go see her, it's really special to her. And I don't know, the black and white just kind of evokes such a warm memory for me. And like I said, there were lots of colors happening. If you see here, she was wearing orange, but she was so cute. She was like a little kid. She got to put the star on the tree. Day 4 documents just how my home looks at the moment. And I used very simple techniques here, just numbers and word strips, doilies, very simple. This here is a, what is this? A chipboard piece from the kit. This snowflake I created on my own using a die cutting machine. Day 6 doesn't even have a picture. It is the story of my daughter performing at poetry night, and what I did was I typed up the poem that she recited, and it is double-sided, but I don't know. I don't think anyone's going to take it out of the pocket. You can see it's double-sided. And I use my typewriter and it looks awful, but it's fine for now. For day 7 and day 8, these are out of the page protectors, and this is a card that I created on my own using some of my card making supplies. This Merry Christmas stamp and the deer, and these are letter stamps, alpha stamps. So my daughter is into origami, and she made a bunch of origamis, and instead of taking a picture of all of them, I chose my 2 favorites and added them directly to the album. So there's a lot of texture in these pages because of the origami and because they're not in the album. And then I just did some journaling and added a little strip here. Day 8 is again out of the page protector, and it is a portrait 4x6 photo. I added the number and a word strip. Just added one of those wood veneer stars on the back. Now, day 9. For day 9, I added what I call a flip out, and I showed this in my foundation pages, but I'll show it again here today with you guys. So here you have 3 pockets, and this is the story of my kids visiting Santa with their aunt and uncle. And then you open it up, and you have space for 4. You have 4 pockets, or rather 6 more pockets here. 4 3x4 and 2 4x6, and then when you turn it, you have 3 more pockets. So it is a great and easy way to add more photos into your album. I've done this in my Project Life album, which is sized 6x12, and oh, it's so easy. And at the end of the video, I will show you how to make one. It's so simple. You guys are going to say, I didn't need you to show me that, but I will show you anyway, just in case. So I kept this spread very simple because of the fact that there are so many pictures. And some of them are very grainy, like this one here and this one, very grainy photos, but they're the only photos that I have of that day, so I decided to use them anyway. And then I just added one of these tabs that came in the kit. I use them throughout the album to indicate that this flips open. For day 10, it is a picture of an ornament that I got in New York City when my husband and I were able to take a few days by ourselves to the city. And I did this by printing one vertical 4x6 photo on my Canon, or not my Canon, on my Epson PictureMate. And it is not a perfect alignment, because if you look closely, you'll see that the Y and the N don't match up. But it was good enough for me. At that moment, I didn't have a large format printer. I do now. But at that time, I didn't have one. So I had to get creative because I wanted to have a big picture in the album, because I wanted it to make a statement. And I feel like it did that, even though the alignment is off. And I don't know, if I have time, I'll show you guys how to do that on the Epson. And you can also actually do it on the Selfie, but I'll be showing you how to do it on the Epson printer. Okay, so for this one, this picture on day 11 is one of my favorite pictures. It's a picture I took of our home as I was leaving for work, and I feel like it just evoked some coziness and warmth, and I absolutely loved it. Now, I did print it on card stock because I didn't have any more 5x7 photo paper, and I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. I don't love it because the colors are muted, and I did have to increase the exposure a bit, but it still evokes that feeling for me of coziness. So I don't think I'll reprint it. I think I'll leave it as it is. I don't think it's going to be waterproof though, so we'll see how it goes. But for right now, it works out fine. Okay, now I wanted to show you guys. These word strips came from the kit, and I love them. I love the saying. I love that they are on gold foil. What I'm not a fan of is the perforation. Let me get closer so you guys can see. So I don't do a good job at tearing them out, and then you have that perforation there, which I'm not a fan of. But I really love the sayings, I love the word strips, I love the colors. So what I did was I just trimmed off the perforation. Super simple, very messy, but super simple. And with some scissors, I just cut off the perforation like this. And then that got rid of it. Can you see that? It got rid of the perforation, and I liked the way that it looked. And that's what I did here, and several times throughout the album. And then I used scissors to create a slanted angle there at the end, and then just added an element on that side. And then added the day 11 stickers that also came in the kit. So day 12. Day 12, this is just some cardstock, a picture of a book that my husband picked up at the library and read to our kids that day. And I did journal that story. Now with journaling, I don't journal for every single day. I just don't. And I'm okay with that. I feel like the pictures kind of speak for themselves. They create a memory for me and my family, and I don't feel like I have to journal for every single photo. So you won't see too much journaling in here. Day 13, very simple, picture of my daughter and her friend, and a 4x6 card. For day 14, I did trim down a page protector that had 4 pockets, and then added a tab. And here you'll see another word strip that I created flags on either end. Day 15 is of the story of a recipe that I make. So what I did was I added the recipe, a picture, and some journaling. Day 16 was so much fun. So day 16 is the 2x2 page protector, and I purposely didn't put pictures in every single pocket because I feel like that's a little bit too busy. So I wanted a see-through element and decided to use the diamonds that came in the kit. And what I did with the diamonds is that I adhered them with a glue dot onto a piece of 2x2 transparency. And this is actually the leftovers from the 4x4 page protector that I trimmed down for day 14. So this way they stay in the pocket and don't move around. And then I used confetti in this pocket and that pocket, and used my fuse tool to seal it. This confetti was so much fun. I actually got it from the dollar store, and I got so much of it. Oops. Both of these were full. This one was full, like this one. And I used this for some cards that I made, and I used it in here, and I still have lots of leftovers, so I'll have plenty of this for next year as well. And then I added this chipboard piece on the outside of the page protector. And I love it because it says celebrating the season with family and friends, and that's exactly what we did that day, and we had a lot of fun. On the back side, I decided to just add some simple decorative elements other than this picture here. I went ahead and used these wood veneer snowflakes from ages ago. I want to say they were from Studio Calico. I used white pigment ink and realized, oh, that is not going to dry. Pigment ink, if you know, takes forever to dry. So what I did was I added clear embossing powder over the top of it, and it gave the snowflakes a really cool, shiny, three-dimensional effect, and I like that. And another chipboard piece there. Day 17, very simple, documents the story of my son's birthday. And like I said, for me, journaling wasn't necessary. You see the cake, you know it's his birthday. You see the phone, you know he got a phone for his birthday, and he turned 23 years old on the 17th. So sometimes you just gotta let the pictures speak for themselves. Day 18, I love these pictures. So my son and I made a foam gingerbread house that I got from Michael's, and I was taking pictures of it, and then he came and just slid right into the one of the pictures, and with his thumb up and his little mouth with missing teeth, and oh, it was just so cute. So I wanted to add both pictures there, and just the number. Again, very simple. 19 as well, very simple. Some journaling on my on that typewriter. I don't know, maybe I just need to practice more. Here he is wrapping a present. Okay, day 20. This is another example of a portrait 4x6, or yeah, a portrait photo that I printed using the Epson Picture Mate. Now, I don't know if I should do it now or if I should show you guys later. I'm going to show you later because the furnace just came on. Day 20 is another example of a picture that I printed out using the Epson Picture Mate, and I printed it out so that I could fit it into these pockets in a 6x8 format. And I'm going to show you really quickly how to do that. I go to my Epson app and I choose a picture, and let me see, actually I'll use the same picture that I have there. I select it, press next, I let it load, and then what I do is I rotate the orientation of the crop area, and then when I touch it, you can see that it allows me to move the picture up and down. And what I do is I bring it all the way down, press print, and then I bring it all the way up and press print again. And that gives me this. Now, what I did here was I have the two 3x4 pockets, so I cut it, the top half, and let me show you that it is not a perfect alignment. However, it's good enough. Just move the album so you can see it's not perfectly aligned, but at a quick glance you can't really tell. And so if you don't have a large format printer, you have a vertical picture that you want to print in 6x8, you can easily do it like this. And I'm going to show you that I did it for a couple other pictures with faces. And these went in two 4x6 pockets, so I didn't have to cut the picture at all. But you can see that right here it's not aligned, and I don't know, when it's in the page protector, you can't tell. So, but I'm going to show you another example of where it was a little bit more obvious that there was a misalignment. Here, my son, if you look at his face, you can see he has two noses. Let me try and bring you guys in. Maybe you can see it better if I do that. Okay. Oh, let's see if it focuses. Move my hand. Alright, it's not in focus. Let me go back out a little bit. Okay, so if you can see, there's not a perfect alignment, and that looks really weird. So, you know, be careful with the pictures that you choose when doing this technique, and keep in mind that the alignment is going to be off a little bit. So that was page 20, or day 20. Here, day 21 is the pocket page that holds my kids' Christmas wish list. I made these tags using my die cut machine. I don't love the shape of it, but what can you do? It does the job, I guess. Day 22, just another picture of the elf. Day 23. Day 23 was a Saturday, and we stayed home and we did lots of different activities. My son's girlfriend came over, and that motivated us to play some games, make snowflakes. And so this is a trimmed page protector with a label. And I added the two snowflakes that were made during that activity. We used coffee filters instead of paper because it's easier for the little kids to make the cuts than when using printer paper, because when you fold it up it's a little bit, it's thick. So I used this card here, There's No Place Like Home for the Holidays, because we spent all the day at home and that was a great time. Here I just added more pictures from the day, and again you'll see those word strips that were trimmed down. Day 24 was Christmas Eve, and in our family, with our family and friends, we make a pretty big deal about Christmas Eve, and we headed over to my friend's house for the night, and it was a great time. And I wanted to include a lot of pictures, so I added another flip out to day 24, as well as a flip up. Added some thickers to denote the day and whose home we were at. And again, the little tag to indicate that it flips out. And I love the way this came out. This paper is from Michael's actually, and I thought it went perfectly with the cork word there. And then we are at day 25. Day 25, I added a picture of the tree with all the gifts underneath. It was funny because my kids woke up and sorted their gifts, and I made them put them all back under the tree so that I could take that picture. So this was one of the pages that I included in, this was a foundation page. And interestingly enough, I made those foundation pages and I didn't use them all, but that's okay. So this is what this looks like, and all it is stickers on transparency and then in the pocket. I love the way that it looks, and if you can't tell, it says Feliz Navidad, which means Christmas or Merry Christmas. Add that little 25, and that was it. You know, I'm liking the way that this looks with the red in the background, but I think I'm going to leave it like that. I know I won't go back to it. So these pictures are from Christmas Day. I got this idea from Amy Gretchen. She did this in one of her videos where she took 2 pictures, inserted the half circle note paper from the notepad that came in the kit, and then adhered or punched holes in it. And it was great because then you didn't punch holes in your picture. And you could put it at, you know, the top of the album or the bottom of the album. I didn't execute this very well because my hole is really close to the edge, and I think eventually it'll fall out, but we'll see how long it lasts. No embellishments here because of the fact that those pictures are really busy, and I didn't want to add more busyness to it, I guess. This glare is awful. Okay, so this is wrapping paper from Santa, and I just included some of the wrapping paper that the presents were wrapped up in. I thought they were so pretty. And then that was the end of day 25. And you'll remember from my foundation pages that I had these tags that Allie created and shared with us in a PDF file. And I tried putting them in the album in between the stories. And I felt like the tags interrupted the story, so probably because they have photos on it. So what I decided to do was I decided to add them to the very end of the album, and actually I feel like they make more of an impact together. And you'll see as I flip through, it's almost like a little booklet because they're the same shape. So I love the way it turned out. It gave a lot of bulk to my album, but that's okay. And then I added a picture of us on Christmas Eve. Unfortunately, because of where we are in our lives, we don't always get together, all 7 of us, as often as we'd like, and we don't get a picture. And so we did that day, and I was so excited about it. And it's not the best quality picture, but I don't care. All of my kids and my husband are in it, and I love it. So this I did print in large format, on a large format printer. I got my Pixma 7720 on Thursday and was able to play around with it a little bit and figured out how to print a 6x8 photo on an 8.5x11 photo paper. And this is actually Kodak paper. My neighbor works for Kodak, and she gave me, I don't know, maybe 200 sheets? No, 50 sheets of 2 packets of 25 of 8.5x11 paper. So I'm pretty set, and it's a good quality paper. And then these are the Christmas cards. I usually add attacher dies, attacher tabs to the Christmas cards, and it's easier to look through them. But I don't know, I just decided this year to just stick them in the pocket and call it done. So that is my album. Sorry that this video was a little bit all over the place. I have to deal with the sound of my furnace and had to take a break from filming because of the noise. If you have any questions, let me know. But don't leave just yet because I'm going to show you how to create that flip up. So here I have my trimmer, and I have a Becky Higgins, which is super hard to see. Sorry, you guys. This is the Becky Higgins Design A, which is the, I guess the original page protector design that she came out with. And it has the two 4x6 on the top, the 4 3x4, and then the two 4x6 on the bottom. And essentially all I do, like I said, this is very, very simple, is I turn it so that I can cut off the two top page protector or pockets. So you'll see here that this is where the opening for the pocket is on the top. I put it in my trimmer and I cut right below the seal, if that makes sense. Just like that. Now, because of the way the trimmer is, I need to use scissors to clip that little piece right here, just like that. And then I have my bottom half of the page protector. Then I simply fold it over, and what I do is I align it with this seam right here. Don't cover the holes, okay? You just want to bring it over to that seam, and then I crease it first with my finger, and then I use a bone folder and crease it even further so that it lays flat. And voila, it's done. See how easy that was? Now, depending on which album you're using, you may or may not need to repunch some holes. For the that 3-ring binder that I used, or rather 6-ring binder from Allie, I did need to repunch some holes. If you are using the Simple Stories 2-ring binder, I believe you don't need to do that. You don't need to repunch holes. And in my Project Life album, which is a 6x12 album from Hobby Lobby, I believe you can also do this. Yeah, you can do this in that album as well. And I'll do a Project Life review at or share a Project Life album with you guys at some point. But there you go. That's it. That's all you do, and you end up with all this extra space to add pockets in your smaller album. So if you have any questions, again, let me know. I hope I did a good job explaining it. And there you have it. My December daily is done. Now I'm going to move on to my New York City in December album. And I'm so excited about that. I had such a good time. See you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.